It was just past midnight. The sky was quiet. No wind, no sound, only the dark forest and the stars above. Eli Walker sat on the roof of his small cabin, sipping black coffee, listening to the silence. He liked nights like this, calm and peaceful. No people, no trouble. But tonight was different. A bright light suddenly shot across the sky. It moved fast, too fast. It wasn't a plane. It wasn't a shooting star either. It was something else. Then came the sound. Boom. The ground shook. Birds flew out of the trees. A loud crash echoed through the forest. Eli stood up. He grabbed his flashlight and rifle. Whatever it was, it landed close. Maybe a plane went down. Maybe someone was hurt. He ran toward the smoke rising in the distance. His boots hit the wet ground hard. Leaves brushed his arms. The air smelled like burning metal. After 10 minutes of running, he found it. A ship, but not like anything he had ever seen. It was silver and sharp, shaped like a triangle. Parts of it were still glowing, sparking. Something had clearly hit it hard. It had crashed straight into the earth, cutting a deep hole in the ground. Eli stepped closer. "What the hell is this?" he whispered. Suddenly, he heard a sound. A soft, broken breathing. Someone was inside. He moved toward the wreck. A hatch on the side was half open. Inside, he saw her. She wasn't human. Her skin was light blue. Her hair was white, glowing softly. She had strange symbols on her arms. Her eyes were closed. She was bleeding badly. For a second, Eli just stood there. His brain told him to run. This was not his problem. This was something big, too big. Aliens? Crashing on Earth? This was the kind of thing that got people killed. But then she opened her eyes. She looked at him, scared, weak, alone, and she whispered one word: "Help." Eli cursed under his breath. "Damn it," he said. He climbed inside, grabbed her gently, and carried her out. Suddenly, he heard a strange noise in the sky. Buzzing, mechanical, cold. He looked up. Drones. 3 of them. Black, fast, and silent. Not from Earth. They were scanning the area, searching. One pointed a red light straight at him. "Shit," Eli said. He ran. He ran through the trees, holding the alien woman in his arms. The drones followed. One fired a shot. It missed, but just barely. It hit a tree behind him, which exploded in flames. Eli ducked and kept going. His cabin wasn't far now. He reached the door, kicked it open, and rushed inside. He laid her gently on the table. She was unconscious again. The drones didn't follow, not yet. He locked the doors, pulled the curtains, grabbed a first aid kit. His hands moved fast, too fast, but his mind was calm. He cleaned the wounds, bandaged her arm, covered her with a blanket. She was breathing, but weak. He didn't know what species she was. He didn't care. He just knew she was in danger. And now, so was he. The radio crackled. An emergency message. Unknown object has entered Earth's atmosphere. Citizens are advised to stay indoors. Do not approach any crash sites. Do not help any unknown beings. Ailey turned off the radio. Too late. He looked at her face. Peaceful now, but pale. She had almost died. And whoever sent those drones wasn't going to stop. He sat down beside her. He picked up his rifle again and checked the bullets. "Whoever you are," he said softly, "someone wants you dead." Outside, the wind picked up. Leaves flew across the yard. Somewhere in the forest, a deep humming sound began. Something was coming, but Eli didn't run. He stayed beside her, guarded the door. Because in that moment, he had made a choice. He would protect her, even if it killed him. The sound of metal wings filled the sky. It was just before sunrise. The forest was still dark, but the air wasn't quiet anymore. The drones had returned. Eli was already awake. He hadn't slept. He had been sitting by the window all night, rifle in hand, eyes on the trees. waiting. Inside, the alien woman Sira still lay unconscious, breathing slowly. Her skin was cold, but her wounds had stopped bleeding. Then, a soft whisper, "Eli." He turned sharply. She was awake, barely. Her eyes opened, glowing faintly in the dim light. "You know my name?" he asked. "I heard you say it." Eli looked at her, surprised. She could understand him. She could speak his language. Maybe even more. "What are you?" he asked. "No time," she said, trying to sit up. "They're close. They don't stop. They kill anyone who helps me." As if on cue, a red light scanned across the wall. A low hum vibrated through the cabin walls. They had found them. Eli grabbed Sira, lifting her onto her feet. "We're getting out of here," he said. "You'll die," she whispered. "Maybe," he answered, "but not today." Outside, the morning fog was thick, but the drones moved like ghosts, fast and silent. 3 of them hovered above the trees, scanning, searching. Eli knew he couldn't fight them here. Not in the open. Not with Sira weak. He opened the hidden hatch under his cabin floor. A small tunnel, and escape route from his army days. It led to the river half a mile away. He helped Sira down first, then followed, pulling the hatch shut above them. The tunnel was narrow and dark. Eli led the way with a flashlight, watching her carefully. She moved slow but kept going. Stronger than she looked. "Why are they chasing you?" he asked as they walked. Sira was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Because I carry something they want destroyed." "What is it?" "A warning." Eli didn't ask more. Not yet. They reached the end of the tunnel and came out near the river. The sun was rising now, painting the sky orange and gold. For a moment, everything looked normal, peaceful, but Eli knew better. He led her to a hidden shed near the riverbank. Inside were supplies, clothes, and an old motorcycle with a sidecar. He handed Sira a jacket. "Cover your arms," he said. "You'll stand out." She looked at the jacket, confused for a second, then put it on. It was too big, but it worked. As they rode away through the forest trail, Eli spoke again. "Your name?" She hesitated, then said, "Sira." "All right. Sira, here's the deal. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're running from. But I saw your eyes last night. You were scared, hurt, alone. I couldn't leave you." She didn't answer, but her eyes softened. Suddenly, a sharp buzzing noise came from behind them. One drone had found them again. "Hold on." Eli shouted. The bike roared as he pushed it faster, jumping over roots, dodging trees. The drone fired a pulse blue energy, barely missing the sidecar. Sira closed her eyes. Her hands began to glow. "I can help," she said. "No powers," Eli snapped. "They'll track that." She pulled her hands back. He was right. She had forgotten. Up ahead, Eli saw a narrow bridge over the river. Wood. Old, weak. Perfect. As they reached the bridge, Eli threw a small grenade behind them. It wasn't to kill the drone, it was to distract. Boom! The drone swerved, losing sight for just a second. That was enough. They crossed the bridge. Then Eli turned sharply into a hidden trail covered in thick trees. The drone flew past them, chasing. Nothing. They stopped deep in the woods. Both were breathing hard. "That won't stop them for long," Eli said. "We need answers." "Real ones." Sira looked at him. "They will send more," she said. "And worse than talk." She opened a small metal device from her jacket. A glowing disc, like glass, floated above her palm. "This holds a message," she said. "From my people. A warning about your world." Eli stared at it. "Why Earth?" Sira looked at the sky. "Because something is coming. And if they find me before I deliver this message." She paused. "Your planet will be next." Eli stepped back. This wasn't just about her. This was about Earth. Silence. Not the peaceful kind. The dangerous kind. Ile and Sira sat inside an abandoned train car, hidden deep in the woods, old metal walls, broken seats. Cold air, but it was quiet. And right now, quiet was good. The floating glass disc in Sira's hand began to glow again. Not bright, just enough to light up her face. Eli watched her carefully. "All right," he said. "Let's hear it." Sira didn't move. Her eyes were on the disc. "I need to ask you something first," she said. Eli raised an eyebrow. "After everything, now you want to ask questions? Would you still help me?" she said slowly. "If I told you your leaders already knew the truth?" He was quiet for a moment. His jaw tightened. "I'm not helping Earth's leaders," he said. "I'm helping you, so talk." Sira nodded. She touched the disc. A hologram appeared, floating in the air. A star map. Then, a voice spoke in a language Eli didn't understand. It sounded like a whisper, mixed with thunder. Strange, powerful. "What is it saying?" Eli asked. Sira translated. "This is a distress signal, from my home, planet Orion." She touched the image, and it zoomed in on a blue and white planet. "Our world was destroyed," she said, "by something we call the Devourers." "The Devourers?" Eli frowned. "They are not machines. Not creatures, they are hunger. They move from galaxy to galaxy. They don't talk. They don't stop. They consume everything." Eli stared at the image. "Why Earth?" "Because Earth is next," Sira said. The hologram changed. Now it showed Earth, glowing in the middle of space. Tiny red dots began appearing around it. Eli's chest tightened. "They've already marked your planet," she said. "They track energy, life, growth. When a planet reaches a certain level like yours, they see it as food." "And what about you?" Eli asked. "Why are you here?" Sira hesitated. "I was a scientist. I escaped when my world fell. I took this message. I was sent to warn the next world in line. But someone's trying to stop you." Sira nodded. "Some don't believe in warnings, they believe in silence." "Who sent those drones?" She looked down. "Not my enemies, yours." Eli's blood ran cold. "You mean humans?" She nodded again. "Your leaders found me when I entered orbit. They shot me down." He stood up. "Why would they do that?" "Because fear is stronger than truth," she said. "If they admit Earth is in danger, they lose control. They would rather destroy the message and me." Eli ran his hand through his hair. "So what now? We upload the message? Go public?" "I tried," she said, "before the crash. But Earth satellites blocked the signal. They're watching every channel." Eli paced the floor. "There's one place," he said. "An old communication tower, military grade. Underground and off-grid. I used it once, back in my army days." Sira looked up. "Can we reach it?" "Maybe," Eli said. "But it's far. And they'll be watching the roads." "I can stay hidden," Sira said. Eli nodded. "Good, because from this point forward we stop running. We fight smart." Suddenly, the train car shook. Boom. Dust fell from the ceiling. The sound of metal being cut echoed outside. "They found us," Sira whispered. Ile grabbed his rifle and peeked out a broken window. 3 figures in black armor. Not drones, humans, but not regular soldiers. These were the kind who operated. In the shadows, he pulled back. "Looks like your warning just got more real." Sira held up the disc. "If they get this." "They won't," Eli said. He handed her a bag. "Crawl out the back. Follow the river. I'll meet you at the bridge in 1 hour. What about you?" "I'll buy time." She looked at him truly. "Looked. You don't even know me," she said. "I don't need to," he replied. "You asked for help. That's enough." Sira vanished through the hatch. Eli stood alone in the broken train. The first soldier entered. Eli smiled darkly. "Welcome to the wrong train." 30 seconds, That's how long it took to go from calm to chaos. The soldier in black didn't even speak. He raised his weapon and fired, but Eli had already moved. The bullet hit nothing. From behind the broken seat, Eli rolled out and fired. Twice, one shot to the chest, one to the helmet. Thud. The soldier dropped. Two more came in fast, but Eli was faster. He kicked over a metal table, using it as a shield, then slid a flash grenade across the floor. Boom. A burst of white light blinded them. Eli ran out the side hatch and vanished into the trees. Half a mile away, Sierra waited near the old stone bridge, hidden under branches. She heard the explosion in the distance and closed her eyes. She trusted him. That thought scared her more than the soldiers. An hour later, Eli arrived, dirty, bleeding, but alive. He handed Sierra a small memory chip. "Got it," he said. "They tried to wipe it, but I saved the message." Sierra held it like it was made of gold. "We go to the tower now?" she asked. "Soon," he said, "but I need help. Someone who owes me." They traveled overnight, avoiding roads, hiding during drone flyovers. By morning, they reached a small dusty garage outside a dead town. No people, no sound. Just rust and silence. Eli knocked 3 times on the metal door. Then once more, slower. The door opened. A tall man with cybernetic eyes and a tired face stood there. "Eli Walker," he said. "I thought you were dead." "Almost." Eli replied, "I need a favor, Quinn." Quinn saw Sierra behind him. His eyes narrowed. "That's not a local." "She's not the threat," Eli said. "The people hunting her are." Quinn didn't ask more. He let them in. Inside the garage was a hidden lab. Old tech but powerful. Quinn once worked in military intel. Until he found out too much. Sierra placed the memory chip into the system. A hologram of the message appeared. Quinn watched it. Twice. Then he leaned back in his chair. "If this is real," he said, "Earth is already marked for destruction." "It's real," Sierra said quietly. Quinn looked at Eli. "You know what happens if we try to send this? The second that signal goes out, we become targets." "We already are," Eli said. Quinn sighed. "I'll prepare the satellite relay, but you'll need to reach the tower." "That's the only line clean enough to send off-world," Eli nodded. "We'll leave at sundown." But something was wrong. Sierra felt it. The way Quinn watched her when he thought she wasn't looking. The way he spoke, careful, too careful. And the garage had a strange hum, like something. Listening. At night, she whispered to Eli, "I don't trust him. He saved my life once," Eli said. "He's good. People change," she replied. "Fear changes them." She was right. 2 hours later, while Eli checked supplies, Quinn made a call. "A secret line." "This is Quinn," he said. "I have them. The alien, the ex-soldier. They're headed to Tower Site 9. Send a team." He ended the call. No guilt. Just silence. The next morning, Eli and Sierra left on foot. Quinn waved them off. Like a friend. They were halfway to the tower when Sierra stopped. "Something's wrong," she said. Eli turned. "What do you mean?" She held up a small round crystal. It glowed red. "This detects signal beacons," she said. "Someone marked. US, we're being tracked." Eli looked around. Forest. Quiet, but not safe. Then he saw it. A small black drone, too small to hear, but big enough to kill. Click. A laser locked onto them. Eli tackled Sierra just as a plasma shot hit the ground. Boom. Trees exploded into flame. Drones filled the sky. They had walked into a trap. "Quinn!" Eli shouted, furious. "He sold us out." Sierra grabbed his arm. "We need cover." They ran downhill, sliding through mud and leaves. Bullets and plasma blasts followed them. They dove into a rocky cave and hid behind thick stone. For now they were safe. Eli slammed his fist against the wall. "I trusted him." "I warned you," Sierra said gently. He looked at her. You still trust me? He asked. She nodded. Yes, even now. Eli smiled bitterly. Then let's finish what we started. The last thing Eli saw was her face. Before the smoke took her, then darkness. The blast had split the ground. He had fallen into the trees below. His head was bleeding. His shoulder was burned. But he was alive. Sierra wasn't. She was gone. 12 hours earlier. They were so close. The old military tower stood high on the hill, surrounded by thick fog. That was the goal. Send the message. Warn Earth, but then the trap was triggered. Drones came first, then soldiers. Then the explosion. Now Eli was waking up on cold dirt, alone, covered in ash. He stood slowly, bones aching, eyes scanning. Sierra. He whispered. No answer. He checked his gear. The memory chip was still in his pocket, cracked but safe. His mind raced. She was alive. She had to be. But if she was captured, there was only one place they'd take her. Site 17. A black site, hidden underground. Known only to ghosts and traitors. Eli had been there once. Years ago. It was the kind of place people entered, but never left. That night, Eli walked through shadows, firelight glowing faintly behind him. He had no backup, no plan. Just rage, memory, and a mission. He reached Site 17 through the old drainage tunnels. Rusted gates. Rotten air. Silence that hurt the ears. He moved fast, quiet, like a ghost. Inside, guards walked the halls with masks and rifles, but Eli was faster. One by one, he took them down. No noise, no mercy. He reached a cold metal door marked Bio-Containment. He knew she was inside. He hacked the lock and entered. She was chained to a chair, her arms glowing faintly from stress. Wires ran from her body to machines. Her skin was pale. Her eyes were closed. Sierra, Eli whispered, kneeling beside her. Her eyes opened slowly. She smiled, weak but real. You came back, she said. I always will. He broke the chains, lifted her into his arms, but an alarm screamed through the base. Red lights, footsteps, shouts. We're not making it out the front, Eli said. Hold on. He ran down the hallway, turned left, then right, then kicked open a supply room. He pulled out a large metal box and set her inside. She looked at him, confused. Trust me, he said. He rolled the box out on a cart, wearing a stolen lab coat and mask. As guards ran past, none stopped him, until one did. Hey! The soldier shouted. Eli didn't wait. He punched the guard and pulled a grenade from his belt. He threw it behind them. Boom. Smoke filled the hallway. He pushed the cart faster. The loading bay was just ahead. Outside, a stolen military truck. Eli threw the box in the back, climbed into the driver's seat, and slammed on the gas. Bullets chased them, but they escaped. 1 hour later, in a hidden cave deep in the forest, Eli helped Sierra out of the box. She was breathing better now. Color was returning to her face. You're insane, she said softly. He smiled. I had to get you out. Why? She asked. You could have run. You could have left. Eli sat beside her. Because I made a promise, he said. Not to you, to myself. What promise? That I would never let fear decide who I become. She looked at him. In that moment, no words were needed. Then Eli stood. We still have the message. We still have the chip. We go to the tower. Together. She said. He nodded. But next time, she added, I get to save you. Eli laughed. Deal. Before her planet died, Sierra was a teacher, not a soldier. Not a spy, not a fighter. She taught young minds how stars were born. And how worlds could end. Now, she sat under a dying sky on a world not her own, holding a piece of her home in her hands, the cracked message chip. Eli sat beside her, fixing his rifle. His hands were steady, but his mind wasn't. The mountain wind blew softly around them. It carried silence and questions. Sierra finally spoke. Eli, do you want to know the truth? The whole truth? He didn't answer right away. Then he looked at her. Yes, tell me everything. She placed the chip on a flat stone. The device blinked, then flickered to life. The star map returned, not just of Earth, but of hundreds of planets, one by one. They blinked out. Gone. Each of those lights, she said, was a living world. My world was the 11th. Yours is the 12th. She closed her eyes. My people tried to stop them, the devourers. But they cannot be fought with weapons. They are not creatures. They are something worse. Ailey watched as the map zoomed in on Earth. Red circles closed in. They follow life, she said. They consume energy, growth, intelligence. You mean like evolution? Eli asked. Yes, she said. The more advanced a planet becomes, the louder it calls to them. Earth has reached that point. Eli frowned. Then why doesn't the government want to stop them? Sierra looked at him, really looked, because you're leaders. Already. Made a deal. Ailey stood up slowly. What? They believe the devourers can be controlled, she said. Or at least bargained with. In exchange for power, technology, survival. But they'll kill everyone, Eli said. They won't tell that part, she replied. They'll save a few and burn the rest. Eli clenched his fists. How do you know this? Because, Sierra said, my father made the same deal with the same creatures for our planet. Eli stared at her in shock. He was a leader, she continued. He thought he could outsmart them, buy time. But they lied. They always lie. She touched her chest softly. I tried to stop him. I became a traitor to my own people. I stole this message and ran. Eli sat back down beside her. So you're not just a survivor. You're a warning. She nodded. That's why they hunt me, she said. Not because I'm dangerous, but because I remember they were quiet for a moment. Just the wind, the stars, and the sound of something far off, a storm coming. Sierra looked at the sky. Eli, your world still has a chance, but not if it stays blind. Eli checked the memory chip. Damaged, burned, barely working. Will this message still send? I can patch it, she said. But it must be done from inside the tower. The tower's near the canyon, Eli said. High security, cameras, motion sensors. Can we get in? She asked. Eli smiled faintly. Getting in's the easy part, he said. It's getting out that's the problem. Later that night, they sat by a small fire. Eli finally asked something he had held back for days. Why do you still fight? He said, after everything? Sierra stared into the flames. Because someone has to. Eli looked at her. You believe Earth can win? No, she said softly, but I believe it can try. That's the difference between being alive and being already dead. Eli nodded. I've lost people too, he said. She looked at him. Then you understand. They sat in silence again. Not the dangerous kind this time, the real kind. The kind you earned. At sunrise, they stood together, looking down at the hidden valley. Far below, surrounded by high fences and motion beams, stood the tower. It reached for the clouds, tall, silent, waiting. Once we get inside, Sierra said, we upload the message. And then? Eli asked. Then, she said, the whole galaxy hears it. Eli checked his gear one last time. Let's make some noise. He said. The tower had no guards. No cameras turned. No alarms sounded. No doors were locked. It should have been easy. That's how Eli knew it was a trap. From the outside, Tower Site 9 looked abandoned. Just steel and silence. But inside, power hummed beneath the floors. Heat sensors blinked to life. And someone, somewhere was watching. Eli and Sierra stood just outside the fence, hidden under rocks and trees. The sun was rising behind them, painting the sky red, the color of warning. This is it, Eli said. Sira looked at the tower, her voice calm. If we fail now, Earth never hears the truth. Eli smirked. Then we don't fail. They moved fast. Through the fence, across the yard, past old security towers and broken walls. No one stopped them. Too easy. They entered the main control room. Dust on the floor. Lights blinking on old screens. This place is still connected to the deep space net, Sira said. If I get 5 minutes, I can send the message. Take 6, Eli said, and I start blowing things up. Sira sat at the control panel. Her fingers moved fast. Lights turned green. The star map appeared again, uploading. 20%, 40%, but. Then, the lights turned red. Doors locked. Screens froze. A voice echoed through the room. Cold. Empty. Eli Walker. Step away from the console. He turned. 3 men stood at the entrance. Black suits. Clean shoes. No emotion. Earth's hidden government. The ones who knew everything. And wanted it buried. Don't be stupid, one of them said. This message doesn't save Earth. It kills it. Eli didn't move. The man looked at Sira. She's not your friend, soldier. She's a threat. You know that. Eli raised his rifle. No, he said. The threat is you. Gunfire. Sparks. Eli dove in front of Sira. Returning fire. She kept uploading. 60%. 70%. The agents fought with calm, controlled rage. But Eli had something they didn't. Purpose. One agent fell. Then another. Sira shouted. The signal's breaking. I need more power. Eli ran to the emergency core. He ripped out cables and jammed them into the panel. Lights exploded. Message. Uploading. 85%. 90%. Then, Eli was hit. A sharp, burning pain in his side. He fell to one knee. Sira turned, panic in her eyes. But Eli waved her off. Keep going. Outside, a low hum began. The sky above the tower darkened. Not clouds, something bigger. A shadow spread across the valley. A shape unlike anything built by humans. A Devourer scout ship. It had heard the signal. It was here. Inside, the tower shook. Walls cracked. The last agent grabbed the detonator. If we can't stop her, we'll bring the tower down. Eli aimed. His hand shaking. Bang. The agent dropped. Eli turned to Sira. She looked at the screen. 100%. Message sent. The star map blinked and spread. Every beacon in the sky, every outpost, every rebel ship, every listening ear now knew. The truth was out. But the ship above wasn't leaving. It was charging. Eli limped to Sira. We have 60 seconds, she said. To do what? He asked. She pulled out a glowing blue core, the last piece of her escape pod. We overload this into the tower's generator. We make it a beacon bomb. Eli looked up. You mean a suicide bomb? Sira nodded. Eli touched her hand. I'll do it, he said. No, she whispered. You've done enough. I started this, he said. Let me finish it. She looked into his eyes, then smiled, but suddenly she handed him the memory chip. Take it, she said. Sira, someone has to tell the story. Then, before he could stop her, she ran to the core room. Eli screamed her name. The tower lit up blue. The ship above lowered, ready to fire. But the tower fired first. Shockwave burst into the sky. A blast of pure light. The Devourer ship cracked, split, and fell, like stone from heaven. Then silence. Then wind. Nothing. 1 week later, Eli sat in front of a small crowd. Rebels, hackers, scientists, people from everywhere. He held the chip. This message isn't just about aliens, he said. It's about what happens when you choose silence. Over truth. He looked at the stars above. She gave everything to warn us. Now it's our turn to fight. Final shot. A distant galaxy. A Devourer fleet, shifting, turning. And now changing direction. They had heard the message. and Earth was no longer silent.